Good morning and welcome back to the Pink Table. We had our first week of Serie A done and dusted. Some really interesting results coming through. A lot of expected results, lots of red cards, lots of goals. I think it's actually the record of goals, Elaine, in Serie A since 1952 of the opening day. So that's really interesting. But that being said, let's dive into our fantasy teams. Shall we do that?
Yeah, let's take a look. Like you said, absolutely crazy week in terms of fantasy football. Red cards, yellow cards. We've seen it all. If you had Szczesny in goal, like many did, calamities. But let's take a look at how it all went.
So here we are. This is the TPT demo team, my team. We're moving into game week 2. On your homepage, I'm sure you guys are aware, you can see the formations of the best team that you could have fielded last game. As you can see here, a lot of Inter players, myself and Elaine were actually at the game there. Inter played extremely well, and fortunately for the Inter fans. But it was really interesting to see how that team played. They completely annihilated Genoa. Personally, from my opinion. But interesting here, we have Abraham that's come in, just moved in over from Chelsea, already taking one of the top spots. Dzeko doing really well at Inter. But overall, this was the best team you could have fielded. Actually, the best player that you could have actually had was this Silvestri. Who would have thought that? And Zaccagni, but Zaccagni is a safe bet. So, Elaine, let's go through over quickly the top game week purchases and the week sales that we've seen so far.
Yeah, so no real surprises if you take a look at the transfers going out. The transfers coming in this week are a little bit interesting. Calabria is a bit of a surprise to see on this list compared to the other names. So interesting new purchase coming into a lot of our teams. The other names are not so much of a surprise. Veretout and Çalhanoğlu from the midfield position showed that they've got goals in them again this year in the opening game of the season. And also, as penalty takers, free kick takers, corner kick takers, they're players that you probably want in your team. The swap of players between Abraham and Dzeko, now that's going to be an interesting one to look at here. A lot of players brought Abraham in, Abraham, sorry, Italian media. So Abraham's come into the team, into a lot of our teams, as well as Dzeko as the main strikers. I've got both of them, so no surprise there. The players going out, as I mentioned, Szczesny had an absolute clanger of a first game. So he's seen a transfer out of many of our teams. A surprise for me is Chiesa on this list, as I see him getting more game time, maybe just because he came in late in the last game. People have decided to drop him. The other names aren't really a surprise. You've got Ronaldo, who is flirting with Manchester City and may no longer be part of our league. Plus, you also get lots of points for the sale of Ronaldo. And then the two other players that have seen lots of transfers out, I'm guilty for transferring out Zaniolo, and I think Damien for Osimhen. These two players seeing red cards and suspensions will probably be the main reason why a lot of players have subbed them out of their teams.
Yeah, so definitely. So I'm going to be definitely subbing out Osimhen. I have not done it yet because I just want to make sure that there's no injuries. Word of advice, I would always hold off, even if you know you're going to be doing a sub. Maybe wait until the Friday morning. I think this week we're kicking off Friday night. So wait till for the game day morning. Maybe check the Gazzetta, see who might not be playing because of injuries, and then make your decision there. So I'm holding off there. With that being said, I'm going to dive into the league and we can see how our team's doing. I'm going to dive straight into the TPT league. Currently, I am 7th, tied with a few people at 73 points, and Elaine is tied 18th with a few people with 57. I'm just going to dive into my team and just show you guys what happened for the last match day. So match day 1, you guys can review it there. So Szczesny, complete blunder. I was sure I was going to get points there. Juventus did play really well, but Szczesny kind of screwed the pooch and ended up costing Juventus the game. Gosens didn't play really well. He was actually subbed off. Hernandez and Calabria being the best for me. Calabria getting an assist, keeping a clean sheet, similar to Di Lorenzo. When Napoli was left to 10 men, I thought it was going to be very hard to keep the clean sheet there, but that was a success. My midfield, all in all, was good. Dybala, really good. I was actually contemplating making him captain. I should have done it retrospectively, but oh well. Milinkovic crushing in the points. Boga not doing badly, not doing great, but not bad. Cuadrado as well, getting a goal, which was awesome, and an assist, I think, as well. Arnautovic getting in that goal. Osimhen costing me a lot. So this was my big money transfer. Unfortunately, I went for him. I was contemplating some other people. but I think I'm going to be trading him out probably for Ebram of Roma because they are playing Salernitana this weekend, so that's something to look at. Or my other option, if I'm not mistaken, was, who did I tell you it was, Elaine? It was it wasn't. I was Dzeko, obviously, but let's see how that goes. On my bench, I had Sensi, Kartup, Scamacca, and Reina. Reina was the only one that would have made sense to have, and obviously Scamacca doing better than Osimhen. So all in all, listen, it was a good result. I lost a bit of value in team, which is really interesting. Someone dropped down. I'm guessing it's Chesney. 73 is not bad, seeing that I have one player that got nothing and actually a player that cost me -4. But all in all, that's good. I am going to be taking out Osimhen for the next round. Do remember, guys, that you only have one sub that you can do for free. If you do one transfer you can do for free. If you do a transfer, 2 transfers, you will get penalized points. So just keep that in mind. You can do it. Also, you do have the option to completely change your team, but you can do that twice a season. So keep that if you think things are not going according to plan. But yeah, I'll be taking out Osimhen, and I'll be doing that tomorrow. Elaine, let's go over your team quickly, and before we dive into the top 3.
Okay, so yeah, let's take a look at my team. Also, with my team, you notice a slight drop in value. I'm wondering where that came from, because I do
Chesney, like me.
Yeah, it must be. So yeah, my week was a bit of a disaster, and it has set me up rather poorly for the week to come. So I had 2 terrible red cards in Zaniolo and Soriano. I was expecting points from both of them. That, coupled with the late start of Chiesa, who only saw very few minutes, meant that my midfield was heavily dependent on João Pedro, and thankfully he got goals. We all know about Chesney's woes and goals getting me 0 points. And if it wasn't for Di Lorenzo keeping a full clean sheet with Napoli, I would have probably got close to only 6 points in total for my defense. Really, the player that carried me along with João Pedro was Dzeko, because he was my captain, getting me double points at 26, which is huge. Shomurodov came on and got an assist, got me the 4, and Giroud really offering very little in terms of attack with Milan, only getting me those 2 points. So I really struggled. My bench didn't do a lot better. I could have probably put in Sensi for Chiesa or one of the 2 red-carded players, and that would have probably done me a bit of good. So I've gone and made some changes for this week. I did 1 transfer out, which is permitted, and then I did take a knock to take another transfer because my teams were put really badly, and it's still not looking great. I think I'm starting the next game with Godin in defense against Milan. So overall, not looking very good. I'm going to have to catch up points quite significantly once the international break is over.
Yeah, can you go ahead and click game week 2? I just want to have a look at your team moving in, seeing that I haven't done mine.
Yeah, so I've gone ahead and added Milinkovic-Savic and Abram to the team. It still hasn't allowed me much flexibility. Soriano is red carded, Di Marco and Sensi on the bench, neither of which are probably going to get much game time. Dzeko and Abram are going to start most likely. If Abram doesn't start, Shomurodov will start and Abram will come on, or vice versa. So one of them is not going to get me great amount of points unless they score late. The midfield, I'm banking on Chiesa to hopefully get a full game. And with João Pedro and Milinkovic-Savic, that should carry me. I'm happy with the original 3 defenders and the goalkeeper that I had, but adding Godin against Milan is not the greatest move, but I sort of have my hands tied this time.
And I see you already starting with -4 score up there where it says on transfers.
Yeah, okay. Exactly, because I brought in 2 new players in Abram and Milinkovic-Savic.
Okay, so yeah, that's Elaine's team going into match day 2. We also have the international break after that, so let's just keep going. We're going to go over the league. So just an update. We are going to top players joining our league in about a week's time. So we're going to do 1 more match day, and then we're going to make it a private group. The only reason I'm saying that is because our code is out there, and if someone is doing really well in another league, they can obviously just see this as an opportunity to jump in ours and just swoop up that €100 gift card, Amazon gift card. So we're just going to make it private after that. So we're still allowing people to join. But as that's being said, this is our league right now. We do have quite a few people in there. I think we go all the way up to 58th position. So that's awesome. Well done, everyone, for joining. It's still very competitive. Don't get discouraged if you've had a bad week. Last year, I think I had a week of doing like 13 points, and I still came second in the entire league. But going into this week, big credits to AC Milan 10. I may be butchering your name, but let it just go forward. The coach is Hikam Bushaba. 94 is extremely solid score. Unfortunately, they've taken away the feature of me looking at your team after that. You can only see it during the weeks, but I would love to go through your guys' team and just see what you guys did. I see you've already commented on our previous video to say that you are leading. That's awesome. Great start to winning that €100 Amazon gift card.
So well done to AC Milan 10. The teams that came in second place and third place respectively are Ventilator and T-Rex FC. Well done to Franco Cesar and Mohamed Tuati. You guys have done great, really high scores there. And I see that our top 10 is still really competitive. Only 24 points between 10th and 1st. Like Damien said, don't get discouraged. In our last league, there was a point where Damien was about 400 points behind that second place and he managed to catch up. So just keep on the grind. Teams have bad weeks and you might hit a hot streak.
Main thing is diversify with your players. But yeah, as you were saying, out of these two, it looks like we're in La Liga. We're at a two-horse race here with Barcelona and Real Madrid running off, because well done again to Ventilator and AC Milan 10. That's solid scoring. Yes, up to 10th, we're in the 70s, but 93 and 94, well done. Like, good on you. I would love to see you guys' teams. If you guys can, take a screenshot, pop it in the comments just for the rest of the group or the members to see, unless you guys want to keep your cards close to your chest, which I respect considerably as well. But yeah, very exciting to see Matchday 2. That's well, obviously each week we'll give an update on how the league's going. We're getting every step closer to that €100 Amazon gift card. Yeah, feel free to comment, give you guys ideas on who to buy, who not to buy. But all in all, that's a good showing.
Okay, so make sure your teams are in by tomorrow. That is Friday afternoon before the games kick off. Remember to choose your captains and all of that good stuff. Make those transfers and let's see who takes Matchday 2 and the lead of the league.